No, no. Oh, I'm just mad because um, the team reminded me like 500 times to record. Anyway, I'll start recording now. Hello everyone who is joining the recording. You missed half the stream because I forgot to record it. But hello, we're mid giving you the leak. So here we go, let's continue the leak. This one is a new feature called Awaken, and I won't explain it too in depth, but in short, you are able to upgrade your Pega. It has a cap, and you're able to go beyond the cap by utilizing other Pega. Obviously, you'll have a base Pega, and you're going to have a scrap Pega, which you can melt down or destroy to use the parts to allow that Pega to go further beyond its current capacity. So you can see here that you're choosing different rarities to pair it up with, how much it expands and how much it grows and how much it upgrades is dependent on what the Pega is that you decide to pair it with. And the results down the bottom are obviously going to change as well. It's true. They should have been on the live stream if they wanted to find out. That's what I'm gonna say. They should have been on the live stream. No, that hurts so much. Anyway, shit happens. What can we do? Okay. Oh, let me. So what you guys saw there, of course, is the new lobby. You guys saw the elo progression. You guys saw the fuse. Now there's a couple of things that will change here on the UI. Of course, we're still trying to perfect the UI. There's a bunch of bugs. There's bugs everywhere. There's language bugs as well. So we need to fix it. There's a lot of stuff that we need to fix. But this is why we have an alpha, right? You guys are going to see things that we simply can't or haven't seen. And you can see there's things there that say upgrade, how you use your currency, racing mode, your personal progression, your Pega's progression, how many trophies you have, opening your loot boxes. There's so much stuff. There's so much stuff that you guys just haven't had the opportunity to experience in the previous V1. Comparing this one to the version 1, comparing V2 to V1, it is a world different. They're basically completely different. And this is obviously what we initially imagined would happen. But it's still amazing how the team have been able to relate so much of the original into this one as well. But this one has some, what I feel is very good, solid gameplay, solid meta. But yes, finally, this is the Awaken part. And some of the things that need to change here is obviously this part right here. You can see is very, very buggy. And also, it's going to be similar. You guys have probably played Genshin Impact. This is meant to be a reveal, so you won't see the Pega straight away. And it's going to reveal a resulting Pega for you guys afterwards. So, again, there's quite a bit that we've covered here, and it's a lot to take in. As you can see, there's different abilities, there's attacks, there's a whole heap of stuff, there's energy, there's different stats. You guys have a lot to ingest if you are one of those alpha players, but it's very exciting, obviously. The token for buying is not Viz. Yes, it's using Viz inside the game, Silver Viz inside the game. Alright, there's a bunch of questions, but what I'll do, we're about to get to the Q&A just after this next part, which is the FAQ, which is probably what most of you guys have questions about. So let me try to go through these questions here. I have some notes on the right here as well, so I don't miss anything for you. But we have a list of questions. If you do have anything extra that you want to add that these may bring up, please put them in the comments, because we're going to have a Q&A session straight after this. I'm going to try to answer basically everything for you guys. Obviously, the first one here, what is the plan for the game's currency and how will it be associated to V2? So you guys know we had Viz and we had PGX. We will still use Viz and PGX in the skill base, so the V2 gameplay. Silver locked Viz is used obviously to upgrade Pega, the skills, purchase some items, and so on. It's like the in-game soft currency. On the other hand, PGX can be used to buy the hard currency and other in-game purchases as well. But when we talk about on-chain currency, of course, if you guys want this to go into the app stores, go mainstream and get big, that's going to be really, really difficult if you have a cryptocurrency directly inside the game, interacting with the game. Basically, the app stores won't allow you to do it. That's just what it is. So how we will do that is obviously going to be in game extensions. So you guys already know we have a bunch of tooling externally. We have the tooling on our external websites as well that we've built for version 1. We have the marketplace and stuff like that as well, Themis, all that stuff. So that's going to continue to be built. Utility is continuing to be built, but also how you use that PGX, it may be used to gain access to something externally in the game, and that access allows you to have benefits internally inside the game. But again, on-chain currencies inside the games, as you can imagine, is obviously going to be problematic for distribution, which is obviously going to affect us because we need money to survive, and distribution is the key to monetization. So similar, I think you guys will know that Axie has just gone on the App Store. They take a very, very similar route. If you see any game doing it, it's probably going to be a similar route to that one. Alright, the next one. There's no breeding feature in skill-based gameplay. Is there a way to acquire new Pega? So you guys probably did just see one of them. So players can acquire new Pega models by opening chests, like the loot boxes, with both tradable, and this is a new one, untradable options. Untradable Pegas are rewarded based on the player's total trophies, while tradable ones can be purchased from the shop or opened from purchased chests. So hopefully that makes sense. It's pretty clear. Currently, the trophy road, the ELO road that you guys saw in that video, is the only place where players can earn untradable Pega. But obviously we plan to add a lot more places and features in the future for players to acquire them, because they are, in the grand scheme, you guys will understand when you play it, those untradable Pega are really, really useful to your progression, even for the tradable Pega, but just in general for your account, those untradable Pega are very important. Alright, the next question here. Will the Pega involved in the initial testing retain their earned skills? So if you get access to the alpha game, when the game eventually goes live, or purely testing and then a full reset when everyone can play? So the Pega involved in the initial testing phase will only retain their earned skills during that testing period. Obviously, there's going to be a full reset once it's launched to all of you guys. It just wouldn't be fair. You get into a game and this guy's like level 100 and you're level 0, and you get put up against him. It's just obviously not going to work. So yes, there will be a large reset once it's open to all of you guys. I know there will be a lot of you waiting. Fourth, when do we aim, I know I had to reword this one, when do we aim to have V1 to V2 conversion happen? When do we aim to have the V1 to V2 conversion happen? Is it at the same time that we put the Wallet Connect feature in the game? So what they mean by the V1 to V2 conversion is like your Pega. There is a bit more in-depth details about this again in the white paper, so if you want to read up on it, it is in there. But essentially what's going to happen is that you're going to be converting your initial Pega into something new. Now that just may be one Pega into a different Pega. It'll be fundamentally the same thing if that's what you want to do, but you also have the option to convert them into other things in the game strategically to help your progress, to make your progress far quicker. That's if you want to do that. So you guys with a bunch of Pega, you still have quite a decent opportunity here to progress quickly if you're strategic. I wouldn't rush into it. Obviously you want to find out what's best for you, but yeah, we will do that probably when it is more open, not in these closed alphas. But it is definitely possible actually that we will do it the second we feel that it is right, that the game is definitely playable and I guess the masses can come in. But in the game, I guess you guys have to understand the user experience and the way that the wallets and stuff will work in the game to understand how it will happen. So in the short term, no, so don't stress about that. The alpha testers will be able to play anyway, but when this conversion does happen, you'll definitely know about it. Now the fifth one, did we consider moving to Ronin, the Ronin chain, as both Sky Mavis and Mirai have similar values, making them great partners? Of course, we're both Vietnamese, we're both here in Vietnam. We're in Hanoi, we have a Ho Chi Minh office as well, and they're in Ho Chi Minh, so we're at the top in the bottom. They're at the bottom, just with a big office. And we had definitely considered that. I mean, they haven't reached out. I have spoken, I think, to their head of partnerships, possibly at Ronin, a while back. I might be wrong here. I think her name's Kate, but I might be wrong. But I did speak to her very, very briefly. I haven't had a formal meeting with her before. And I'm not too sure if they're interested, of course. You guys have to understand that we're definitely a competitor to some degree. So it may just be that they're not interested, but I'm not too sure. We don't have that type of relationship with them. So I must admit, I have also not reached out. It has not been a priority for us. But I mean, I'm definitely not against something like that. Obviously, we love Ronin, we love Sky Mavis, we love Axie. Everyone is so inspired by them. So yeah, it's not off the books, but it's definitely not in the plans. Not in the short-term plans, at least, either. Alright. Oh. Okay, so next one. Can players rent a Pega in V2? And if so, what will be the process of doing so? So this early alpha skill-based game, the V2 early version, doesn't have renting or the scholar system, but we may explore the possibilities in the future. The game depth is just not complex enough to facilitate something like that. If the economy is favorable, as in that it makes sense, then of course that is something that we think we should consider. We love that model. It just needs to make sense. Alright, next one. What are the plans for PGX staking, and when can players expect this feature to be implemented? So, staking is something we should consider pretty heavily based on the fact that currently there is no incentive to do so other than giving back rewards in the same token, which it just increases the supply eventually. So you guys can understand, staking just to make more tokens usually isn't wise, and that really wasn't the original thesis behind it. So until there is like a really good incentive for you guys to do it, we believe that holding off would be wise. I think you may like it in the short term and it may create temporary demand, but in the long term you guys have to understand that everybody who stakes will have more tokens to sell if they decide to sell. And where does the demand come from? So we need to be able to create the demand equal to, hopefully greater than, the supply that staking does create. So we want to have a justified good reason. I'm sure you guys would feel the same. Rushing into it definitely isn't a wise decision. And you can see from so many projects like Axie, they took a very, very long time to even come to that decision. I'm not too sure if they've done it. I think they have done it now. Alright, next one. So when can players expect the leaderboard feature to be added in the game, and what will that entail? So we plan to have a global leaderboard as well as seasonal leaderboards based on your rank. The seasonal leaderboards will reward players basically based on their rank at the end of the season. So you'll see like it might be quarterly, it might be monthly, but I believe it's going to be quarterly. You guys saw with your battle passes you have seasons as well. These ideas are obviously still in the planning phase, the planning phase, and haven't been finalized. So obviously in any game leaderboards are an enormous one, but you can imagine what type of leaderboards we can create here, like guild leaderboards, individual breed type leaderboards. There's a bunch of stuff. You've got the game type leaderboards, you've got global leaderboards, you've got account leaderboards, you've got Pega leaderboards. There's so many, so we need to decide which one is best, and we should do first. Eventually we may have all of them, but most people want to compete on a global level, so it'll probably be the global one first, but we shall see. But no doubt there is obviously going to be leaderboards to compete for. Now this one's a good one. What are the plans for a stadium in the game, and when can players expect to see it added? Stadiums for me are still one of those things that I'm honestly most excited to explore. However, as you could understand, if we did what we initially planned like a year ago, probably even longer, when we first had the initial plan of the game, they would still not have utility. People obviously wouldn't be happy, and I think that's the case in many games who sold land. Stadiums and land would be very similar. So as we plan for what the stadiums will do, or will become, we need to make sure that the game can give reasoning to the ownership. Obviously we're getting there, but there needs to be a reason for that ownership. You guys have to have a vision here. And short term, we would want it to have utility, not in the long term. So if we launched it 1 year ago, that would obviously be a long term situation, but we're hoping that we develop the game quick enough to where when we do launch something like that, which I'm sure something like that will happen, there will be more sales. When we launch something like that, yeah, you guys will be ready. All right. Joe's out here absolutely saving me. And whoever wrote that comment, would you rather watch a tree grow? Definitely you're not catching me. I saw that TikTok. I'm not an old man. My back feels like I'm an old man though. Shout out to Jiro. You ain't gonna get me. All right. Couple more here, and then we're gonna jump into the Q&A. And I know you guys are gonna have I've seen about 1 million questions there. So, what steps is the team taking to attract investors and ensure the sustainability of the game? Big question, and a lot of you guys ask it. Now I do need to make a small assumption here. When you say investor, I'm not sure if you mean players that bring in money or not. However, I'm going to assume that is what this person meant when they did ask it. I think most people, that's what they're asking. Obviously, we're doing a lot. Approximately a month ago, maybe just over a month ago, we hired our head of user acquisition, who is Joe. He's watching the comments right now. He's watching you guys. He's working alongside myself to prepare the traditional marketing work that we need to do. Obviously, we'll be building a team around him at the same time. And you guys already know that the traditional direction is a direction that we've always wanted to explore as well. So we're going to need to understand fundamentally how to acquire those traditional users. And we're obviously building that foundation as we speak. But alongside that, as the game gets closer to being playable by larger audiences, so not in an alpha, but in probably an open beta or even the global launch, the Web3 strategy will start to come to fruition with more events and more sales being held to drive revenue. Of course, a lot of this is going to depend on your guys' ability to help us spread the word. So when the time's right, I'm obviously going to need to rally the army, which is you guys, to get together, and then we're going to go on the offensive. So we're going to be pushing hard. Now is not the right time. Why would we do that when we don't have a game? So once it is ready for them, that's when we go out and we go and find them and we bring them in. You can expect to have things like, obviously, with the sales, is obviously going to be like exclusive access items, big sales, exclusive sales for specific groups of people, rare, obviously ultra rare items like super low supply items. There's going to be big referral bonuses, big cash rewards, obviously leaderboards, like I said earlier, but this will be leaderboards for, top referrers, all that type of stuff. That's the type of stuff that we need to get into. That's obviously going to attract a lot of people, especially Web3 people, but the game just needs to exist, and there needs to be justification for those things, and that's what we're trying to build for you guys. Of course, I know that we could go out there and just sell stuff now. That's just not what we want to do. We want to be true to ourselves and, build the game, and then do this. What perks will the NFT PFP holders have in the skill-based game? So I guess some context here. The PFP NFTs were a perk of having a founding Pega. So if we layer the perks forever, it's never going to end. So if you get a perk for having a PFP, or you get an airdrop for having a PFP, we're 3 layers deep. So any perk that the PFP holders would get, obviously it's more likely to go to the founding holders. The founding holders are the ones who get the perks, and that's just how it's always been. And then finally, good question here about airdrops. Will there be future airdrops for players to participate in? I know airdrops are hot right now, very, very popular. So there's obviously going to be some type of airdrops. I don't want to make any promises. Also, future sales, as I said. We're very active in planning this type of stuff. Sorry, I'm just changing the screen there so I can see your guys' comments again. It disappeared. But we're very, very active in planning this stuff. We just want to do it right. We don't want to airdrop you guys a random Pega. You got Pega. So you got to play the game. You got to understand where value is, and then we're going to airdrop you something of value. We're going to do a sale of something of value as well. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. Now, we're in the Q&A section. Let's go. Let's go. I've saw about a million comments here. I'm going to move this across here and drag you guys in front so I can see the comments. Oops. All right. Here we go. Content. Yep. All right. With the so Sai's just mentioned that there's a pretty frequent question here about what's going to happen to the old Pega. That's what I was talking about with the V1 into the V2. So if you want a bit more detail, then sure, it is in the white paper now. But Sai just mentioned that she's going to likely go and create an infographic, something for you guys to visually understand it, to make it a bit easier to understand, because I understand it's not going to be simple for you guys to understand, because we're trying to merge one game economy into another one, and that's not easy. It's taken a lot of planning. Alright, sorry guys, let me try and scroll up a little bit here and try and catch up on some older ones. Stake PGX to appear on a leaderboard with human validation. I mean, or it could provide you some perks, some visible stuff inside the game. You know, like if you're staking, you get these badges, you get a bunch of cosmetic stuff. I think that's a great idea, for sure. There's a bunch of stuff that we can do. We just need to, you know, if we launch staking, there might be 10 different things, 10 different benefits across the board. I don't think that we should just rush into it, stake just to stake. Yeah. If there's no breeding, what's the utility for Viz? So as mentioned earlier, it is the primary in-game currency. The silver Viz is the primary in-game currency. That's how V1 was becoming anyway. As we build more things to do within the game, I guess more features, you can imagine that it's going to cost a currency. And that currency is going to be silver Viz within the game. I apologize if you missed most of the stream, guys. I also only recorded half the stream. That's my bad. I apologize. When Viz and PGX on a centralized exchange listing, I think you guys already know how I feel about that. They're harder to access than a decentralized exchange, and much harder to use. You can't integrate them into the game or into platforms either. So sure, it might give it a temporary pump, but if there's no utility, if there's no demand for the token, it's going to come down anyway. The centralized exchange is not going to help. Tokens die on Binance too. That's just the reality. If there is no breeding, how can we create an experiment based on their skills? Well, it's funny. It's funny that you mentioned that, actually. It's a great question, because the game is no longer solely dependent on the Pega. You also have to understand how to play the game well. So you're obviously going to need some sort of strategy. These Pegas have abilities. You can attack other people. When do you attack other people? These are things that you need to figure out. So yes, just keep that in mind. Obviously, with the experimentation, it's not just the general meta that you guys had before. We have a lot more layers now, a lot more layers. The meta will be quite complex. Come to, I think you say Cebu. I would love to. There seems to be quite a pretty strong Web3 presence. I think you guys just had a Binance event. I did see. I think it was Shanks. Shanks was there. I think I saw him talking up on stage. I think that's how you say his name. From YGG. Come to Dubai. I would love to. Joe, say something. Don't be shy, mate. Joe, they love ya. Joe is famous. They want to see his face. Maybe one day we'll bring Joe on the stream and we can discuss our strategy. Don't visit Bulacan. You won't come out alive. People back in the day, people used to say, if I go to Philippines, I won't come back alive. But I won't go there. It sounds scary. I mean to Bulacan, or however you say it. Who's the target market for the game? Asia versus Western market, Web3 versus casual mobile gamer. Great question here. Great question. So, to give you guys a bit of a timeline on how we plan to do the testing. So we'll have like the you'll have like the closed alpha, which is kind of happening now. That'll run for probably 2-ish weeks to a month, depends on how much data we need. And then from there, obviously, we're going to make some changes, look at the data, see how you guys interacted. We need to know which actions people take, where they drop off, how they play, where we did bad, where we did good, where they churn, which is like close the game because they're bored. So then from there, we need to improve it. That might take a couple of weeks, might take a month, and then we will do what we would call probably we may do another closed alpha, but we may just go into a beta test where we get more people in here, so you guys may have a couple of weeks to be able to jump in, play as much as you can, try to get as much progress as you can and get used to it. From there, again, we need to look at that data. We've obviously got a much larger pool from there. We need to look at that data and make some changes. From there, we will enter into what we call a soft launch. Now, this is where we start to do real user acquisition to see if the game can potentially be profitable as a traditional game. The Web3 side is a little bit different, but as a traditional game. So what we do is look at these games as both a Web2 game and a Web3 game. Fundamentally, we need to have what a Web2 game has, in-app purchase, in-app advertising as well, for us to potentially generate revenue. And that requires us to do traditional user acquisition, and that's why Joe's here down in Ho Chi Minh. So with that, that's what happens usually in the soft launch. We go out there, we start doing some ads, we start to bring in some people, and that will likely be in the Asian market, but also the US market. The Asian market because that's where the IP is known, but the US market because that's the most profitable for most game studios, and that's just the reality. So we will push towards that direction in the soft launch. Beyond that, it's dependent on the data. For the Web3 side of things, we have a bit of a different strategy. It's more organic. However, in short, they're not so segmented like the Web2 market. Web3 is kind of like its own country in itself. That's the way we're looking at it anyway right now, because the market is much smaller than the traditional space. So hopefully that makes sense. So we're both, because I don't think anyone in the industry really knows right now exactly what to do for user acquisition. Thank you, Vic. I appreciate it. Sorry, guys. Just I think I'm a little bit far away from your questions. Founding Pega Cricket. Can you discuss more what you guys did for them? What happened to founding Pega and crown Pega? So I'm not too sure what you mean there. What did we do for them? Founding Pega have had a lot of benefits and access, of course, as we've progressed. And some founding Pega holders will still be able to be the ones that get access. Crown Pega, we had a discussion as well, will be able to have access in the alpha. Some of them, if we can fit them, of course, and they're active and they're playing. So yeah, for sure. I mean, that's kind of what it has always been. You get priority, you get access, you get visibility from us, because we know that you're a person with an invested interest, a larger invested interest. We don't know the meta. Yep. Currently, you won't know the meta, of course, and naturally, what we make, we may not even know the meta. You guys will probably end up creating one that we haven't discovered. Is Viz usable on other Mirai Labs games? Are you going to mint Viz again? So the way Viz will work is going to be primarily off-chain, inside the games as well, but PGX is going to be, of course, across all of the games. Absolutely. So you guys already know that we have the other games as well. I won't comment on them too much on this one, but of course there's going to be perks and benefits to people who are in Pegaxy on the other games. Access, early access, all that type of stuff. If you have a Pega, you have an asset in the other game. Yeah, you get it. Explain a bit about the breeding. We don't have breeding exactly in this one from memory, at least in that leak that I showed you. It'll be, I don't think you're talking about breeding. I think you're talking about, it was this, oh, it's not a still. It'd be from, it's from the leak that you guys, it's fundamentally like, you will remember it as fusing. That's probably what you mean. So yeah, I guess easiest way to put it is that you will have your Pega's level. You may level it all the way up to the top as far as you can, and then you're going to reach a limit, and you're going to need to use a Pega to be able to push beyond that limit. Hopefully that makes sense. Come to Dubai. I would love to go to Dubai. It's probably too hot and too expensive. Do you still need to pay Viz to race? No, you don't need to pay Viz to race. Is there a reward for the alpha testers? Being an alpha tester. Can you drink more water, Corey? Cheers. Let's drink water. Do I lift weights? If it doesn't look like I lift weights, then that's... Damn it. Depressing. My reading glasses, thank you. Alright. Racing leak. I don't want to give a racing leak, and I think the team don't want to give a racing leak either, because they may not be in love with the visuals just yet. The visuals in the racing is definitely going to take a lot more time to develop and make it pretty. So the UI, the general UI, the user experience and the user interface and the lobbies and stuff is quite nice. We're obviously happy with it, happy enough to share it with you, but the racing, we are not in love yet. An anti-cheat system, of course. I mean, the general game design when you build a game is obviously trying to prevent cheaters in the general sense, but in these alpha early testing version, this is usually where we will be exposed to someone who's smarter than us, or has thought of something else, and we're able to prevent it. But I'm not too sure what you mean by anti-cheat system in the sense of trying to get tokens, or I don't know if it's something else. Maybe you can expand on that one. What's the people with 2000 Pega supposed to do with them? So this is what I was mentioning earlier. You've got the V1 into the V2. You're going to have a lot of utility for those Pega. When it comes into this new version, now it's either you can just have a singular Pega and a bunch of usable assets to upgrade that Pega into something crazy, or alternatively, I believe you have the ability to go from one Pega, V1 Pega to a V2 Pega, similar to that. So yeah, it's actually in the white paper as well. So if you want to see the a bit more in depth, then just jump into the white paper. This is like Mario Kart then. I mean, definitely we're inspired by the feeling of Mario Kart, but what Mario Kart is, I mean, it would be great if you can replicate that on mobile. It's very difficult to build it that quick. But we're inspired by the feeling, the emotion that Mario Kart gives for sure. But no. Wow, attack another Pega. Yes, you can definitely attack other Pega in the game while you're racing. Pegaxy X Mario Kart. Oh. How can you be part of the beta? So the how we're doing the beta is obviously undecided just yet. This is the alpha. Maybe you mean the alpha. So we're gonna have some giveaways and stuff like that for the entries for the alpha, but for the beta, undecided. It's obviously going to be a larger pool, so we'll definitely be doing it differently. Don't listen to the haters. You're doing awesome. I appreciate that. I definitely can't pronounce that name. Peparakakakakis. I tried, but I appreciate it. Obviously, everyone here is very, very happy. As passionate as ever, honestly. Probably because it's getting so close to the game being released, everyone's hyped. Alright, you guys want to see the gameplay? 1 second. Where is it? This one? Here. We'll watch the leak again, because so many of you guys, maybe you're joining late or something like that. So this is just like the user interface, the user experience. Some of the changes, some of the updates as well. Maybe some of you guys have seen screenshots of it, possibly. But here you can see the skins, the skin upgrades is being applied. There's going to be a bunch of them. Your Pegas will look wild. Different rarities, all that type of stuff as well. I think you guys should really look closely at this user interface, at how many different things there is to upgrade. Obviously, you got your personal account, you've got your Pega's account, you've got your trophy count, your Pega's level. You've got the loot boxes, you've got different currencies. There is a lot. There is a lot to focus on. This right here is basically a new Pega, and as mentioned, the new Pega are from the trophy road, off-chain, untradeable basically, but they have a lot of utility in something like Awaken right here. As mentioned, in simple terms, Awaken allows your Pega to go beyond its current level, continue to push higher and higher and higher, but that's going to require you guys have Pega. So as you could imagine, you need a decent amount of Pega. So that hopefully answers some of the questions that you guys had about if you have a lot of Pega and what's going to happen in V2. You're hoping it's not going to flop like Origins did. So for us, it's not going to be an enormous, big, massive launch or something like that. I don't think Origins even flopped. I don't know. I don't think they've even globally launched yet. I don't think they're doing user acquisition. They're not in the app stores properly. So yeah, I mean, you may not have liked the early version of Origins, but maybe they just didn't forewarn you that it was an early version. I'm not sure. But for us, we're the same. We're going to be releasing it gradually, and when we're at a point where we like it, then you start doing user acquisition. Whether it's a flop or not is definitely going to be your opinion. I can't change that, unfortunately. Any plans for a marketing drive in China, Japan, South Korea, big gaming Asian markets? For sure. I think obviously Philippines has to be a focus for us because that's where the IP is most prominent, but we had plenty of players in those countries. So, and they obviously the biggest spenders, China, Japan, South Korea. I think actually are the 3 biggest spenders in Asia, per user, I should say. So, yeah, Singapore, I'm sure, is pretty well up there. Alright, let me try to scroll down. I'm quite a far bit behind. Oopsie. Once the 8 energy is depleted, are we still going to be able to play or use another Pega? I'll leave that to you guys to discover. You may be able to buy them, you may be able to acquire them different ways. I don't know. So I'll let you discover that one. Is there a chunky Pega available? If the game designers are watching, we need chunky Pega. If the artists are watching, we need chunky Pega. Fook, if you're watching, we need chunky Pega. That's fat Pega. I Community has spoken. How much would be the new Pegas? So in the game, so you're going to be your hair, original or fake. So the Pega, you guys, if you already own Pega, those Pega go into the new game. So don't worry. Just you're going to be able to decide how that happens and what they become in the new game. Alright, I've been told this is just the last few questions, so I'll try to pick some more, and then we're going to be going into the giveaway. The giveaway is about to come up, so be ready if you wanted people from your team to participate for your higher chance in the giveaway for your guild. Please tell them to join now. Let me answer a couple more questions and we'll jump right into the giveaway. How's the development of the other games going? All is great. Progress is going great. You guys should see something of them in the next few months. Of course, I will keep you guys updated. I know you guys want new opportunities in the other games as well. Half of you guys love speculation on the market, so there's going to be plenty of that. When will the game start all over again? So I guess that's what you're referring to. When will the alpha start? Let me just add this one more time. Second week of May is when the alpha test is going to begin, roughly. So that's like 1.5 weeks, roughly around there. And then we're selecting 100 testers. And how they're going to be chosen is seen just in there. There's going to be 80 users from Discord. Obviously the OG supporters, the founding, the crown Pega, just the most active people as well. And then we're going to have 17 from social media giveaways. I'll expand on that in just a little bit, and then we're going to have 3 users basically right now. So we should probably get into that before Sai kills me. Alright, so I'm ready for this. This is our first one. First giveaway. First giveaway, baby. Alright, I can see everything. Alright. Now, how it's going to work is I'm going to ask you guys a question. I've already got an email in the chat here. There we go. We don't need your email yet, so don't spam your emails. But you will need to comment the answer plus your Discord ID. It is not roulette. Maybe we should have done roulette. You pick a number, and if your number comes up, damn it. That's a good idea. Next one, we're doing roulette. Oh, all right. No, that's not how it's working. We have a question, and what we're going to be doing is needing you to pick. It's multiple choice. You're going to need to pick the answer, plus you guys need to add your Discord ID. Okay? It needs to be in the same message. And there's going to be 3 people. See Day's one right there. She's got answer, then bot Day. So everyone, I'm giving you 30 seconds. You got 30 seconds to go and check your Discord ID right now, and then come back. Probably just copy it, but have your Discord ID ready. Alright. And this is not a difficult question. If you're one of the OGs, you will know this answer. Yes, that's right. I always forget how to say your name, but you're always here, so I'm grateful for it. I don't know if it's Jane, I don't know if it's Jan, I don't know. But, yes, that's right. Your answer and then your Discord ID. Yeah, you guys have your Discord ID there. So in the same message, you need to have A, B, C, D, whatever it is, plus your Discord ID. Are you ready? All right, let's do it. 3, 2, 1. How many founding Pega exist in total? Choose the one plus your ID. All right. Holy dolly. Damn. All right. I have 3 here. Oh, some people are getting it wrong, huh? All right, I got 3 here. Someone chose A. Who's choosing A? Who's choosing B? Come on. Come on. 555? Some people are putting in the number. You are right, but you're not quick enough. A, B, C. So what's the real answer? What's the real answer? Are you sure it's C? Are you sure? Think about it. Think about it. The teams, there were some guilds, the public sale. Is it C for sure? 5,000% sure. All right. A? Everyone's changing their damn... everyone's changing their answer. Sai chose B. What the shit? I mean, it must be B. I just saw Mr. Gammon choose A, B, and C. Alright. It is D. No. Okay. Well, it's big C. C for Corey. Congratulations. So I have chosen 3 here. I have the 3. I'm just going to be sending it over to the team now. Give me a second, and don't leave because I have another giveaway. Literally. So guys, be prepared because you're about to have a massive chance. You guys can see here. 1, 2, 4. Alright. This is what the winners need to do. Now that we have your Discord ID, we know your Discord ID. Impossible to fake it. We also have your Twitch. So we're going to have to verify this with you guys. So don't bother trying to scam us. We know what we're doing. Alright? The guys who have won, which is... 1 second. Vulture. Oh, actually, let me just bring it up. I think I can bring it up. Here. The first one, the second one, and the 4th one. Unfortunately, Azuriel, you chose the wrong number. I mean, the wrong letter. Damn. That sucks. But... congratulations to the other 3. So we've got Vulture Rock PH, we have X1SS _, and then we have Pegaxy Rel. Shout out to Pegaxy Rel, my man. His name's Pegaxy. Let's go. Alright, that's the first 3. Now, I'm going to have another giveaway. And this one, you have a far greater chance. We're giving 6 times more. About 6 times more. About 6 times more chances right now. So, you're going to need to go to either Facebook or Twitter right after this. This is an alert to our team, by the way. Let's launch the giveaway right now. We have 17 alpha access key giveaways on Facebook and Twitter right this moment. So we're launching the giveaway right now. How to win is going in the caption. So please be ready for that and do exactly what the caption says. That's going to give you the highest chance to win. This is a short giveaway. This isn't going to last long. I think this is getting drawn just early next week. So this is your last chance to get in. Other than that, you're going to want to be in Discord, but you probably have a pretty decent chance to go on Facebook and Twitter right now and get an entry in. And you can get more than 1 entry in this one. Please note. You can get more than one entry on this giveaway. You have to work for it, but you have the chance. This is 17. After this, there's only 80 left, and that's in Discord. Now, they're going to be hard to get because you got to work with Day. If you can convince Day, then you're a miracle worker. So, you need to go to the socials right now. And that's going to basically wrap it up. It's going to basically wrap it up. You're going to take your chances on the last 80. All right, you better get in Discord. Jump in. But thank you so much, guys, for being with us. It's been an hour and 20, which is quite a long time. So we're going to wrap it up here. Hopefully I answered a lot of your questions. We're in an exciting time right now, so I understand a lot of the questions are about to be answered. Obviously, the alpha testers are going to be sharing their experience with you guys. And hopefully soon after that, a lot of you guys will get access anyway. But 100 of you in about 2 weeks are going to be playing the first version of the game. I can't believe it. It's finally happening. All right. Jump on Facebook or Twitter right now, whichever one you think you're going to have the most chance on. Most people are going to go to Facebook. I would personally do it on Facebook. It's up to you guys. I'll see you there. Best of luck. Love you. Thank you, guys. Bye.